Hi, it's Nadia here. I'm from the Vegan Italian Kitchen, and today we're going to be making one of my favorite recipes, walnut polpette. These are meatballs and they're made with walnuts. I love walnuts. They're full of protein, high in omega-3s, a really healthy meat alternative. So we're going to get straight into cooking these, and I hope you enjoy it. We're going to put in 2 cups of walnuts, straight in. 2 slices of bread. What I really like using is seeded bread. It's got extra fiber and also the protein from the nuts and the seeds. So it's really quite healthy this way, but any bread is fine. And now we're going to add some seasonings. We've got 2 tablespoons of nutritional yeast flakes. They're fantastic. They're filled with B vitamins and they give it that kind of savory, cheesy taste. And also some vegan stock powder. It's beef flavored, so it's actually got those sorts of seasonings that are reminiscent of a meaty flavor. That's 1 tablespoon there, so throw that in. And then we're going to add about a handful of fresh parsley. I love using the Italian Continental. And one of my favorite ingredients to create a meaty, smoky flavor is liquid smoke, and just a few drops of that. And now we're going to blend it all together. Okay, once it starts resembling like fine minced crumbs, you want to add 1/4 cup of water. That's come together nicely. What the water does is bind it together so the meatballs stick together. And we'll take that off and we'll be ready to roll our meatballs. But before we do that, we're just going to turn on the oven, preheat it at 180 degrees. Find yourself an oven tray and line it with some baking paper so it doesn't stick. And now we're going to get rolling. So because of that water, the walnut mince is sticking together really nicely. So you just take off a little bit of the mince and roll it into something like, a walnut shaped size. You can make them smaller or larger, it doesn't matter. And just pop it onto the tray and keep rolling. Pop these into the oven for 25 minutes, but we'll turn them over halfway through. While your polpette are cooking, we're going to make the Pomodoro sauce. So let's add 2 tablespoons of olive oil and 2 cloves of garlic sliced. You don't want the garlic to brown too much, so make sure you pour in the passata before it turns brown, otherwise it'll become bitter. We're going to pour in 700 grams of passata. If you don't have any passata, then some canned diced tomatoes is fine too. Add 1/2 teaspoon of salt and a few basil leaves. If you don't have any basil, that's fine too, but it creates a gorgeous flavor of Italy. Now we want to cover this and allow it to simmer on low for about 20 minutes or until your polpette are cooked. The longer you leave pasta sauce, the better it will be. So after 25 minutes, we're going to take these out of the oven and pop them into our sauce and allow the sauce to soak up into the meatballs for a few minutes, and then we're ready to serve. What's so wonderful about this recipe is that you can weave it through pasta, you can pour it on top of mashed potato, polenta, or just on the side with some lovely thick crusty bread. What I love about this walnut polpette is that it's one of those recipes that prove that you can still be vegan and keep your food traditions at the same time. Well, I hope you love this recipe. It's also from my cookbook, Discovering Vegan Italian, and I really wish you all the very best with your VeganEasy challenge. Ciao.